like a boss. All right, guys. Here we are. It's Wednesday, 23rd. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I'm just finishing up the last dormer here. Obviously, still a ways off from completing the framing altogether, but enough that we can get this roof finished. So, this is my little first person shoot. Guys are slamming on the roof right now, so it might be a bit noisy. You can see here how I framed this dormer. Just built in some small little walls to kind of match the pitch of the old roof, tie into the new dormer. Got triple 2x8 headers, should be plenty strong for the roof load. And yeah, it's pretty basic framing. Brought my dormer walls in from the exterior a little bit so that there'd be more roof showing on the outside of the building. So I didn't really want to just have like a little tiny section of roof showing in front of the dormer. I wanted to, still keep that presence of the gambrel roof all the way across the front. So that's why I brought the walls back a pair. Still plenty of, bearing, being that the joists end right there. You can see I'm just about to frame in this last dormer here. I've run these triple 2x10 beams along to support the roof temporarily. All these collar ties have been cut on one end or the other. You can see these have all been cut. The roof hasn't dropped. I've got a few support posts in the middle right there just to keep the peak supported. But yeah, there wasn't any, serious structural issues as I, took it all apart. So I know a lot of you guys were worried if I cut the collar ties, everything was going to go to shit, but it didn't. It's fine. I actually was able to straighten the roof out a fair bit with these shore posts. Just screwing them up, using a laser level, shooting a beam across the whole room here. So once I get the beam finished on that side, I got 2 more sections to put in. Some of the troubleshooting issues I've had with framing here have been because these low slope rafters right here, when I went to connect my dormer rafters to these rafters, I thought they were kind of, I anticipated they would be straight, and then I put my dormer in, but these rafters are actually dipped a little bit, from the weight of the roof. They've kind of sagged a tiny bit, maybe a 1/4 inch. And so what that does is that kind of adjusts the roof angle so that if I would have put these in at the same pitch as these ones originally were, there would be like a little bit of a hump where they joined. So I've had to kind of compensate these rafters to kind of match the swoop of the roof so that it doesn't, look like there's a hump right where this dormer joins right here, if you know what I'm saying. So that's been a bit of a troubleshoot thing, but what I've done to do that is I just take my 6-foot level, slide the 6-foot level in here, and just kind of match it to the existing roof sheeting. And then I just trace out, I screw a temporary piece right here, and then I trace out my bird's mouth onto that. And then once I've got that template cut out, I cut the rest of the rafters using that template. And each one of these dormers has been a bit different, so I've kind of had to customize each one. But, a little bit more time, no big deal. Another cool feature that I'll show you here is I'm putting these beam ends on either side of my dormer to support the eave rafters. So in order to do that, screw an extra block in here for some backing, and then I've drilled a hole in the top, 2-inch Forstner, and then I've threaded a 3/4 inch hole through here, and then I put 5/8 threaded rod with a nut and a washer in here, drill that through my blocks, put a nut and a washer on the inside here and tension fit that in place, as well as a bunch of 4-inch screws. And the tension that rod creates puts a super amount of strength onto that beam. So that's a cool idea if you guys want to add some beam, faux beams to the dormers in your house. If you've got access to the framing inside in your attic or something like that, just one of these threaded rods, slide it in there, You have to chisel that flat just so that the washer will sit with good bearing. And then you just slide that nut in there. And this piece comes through the blocks, and then you put another washer and nut on that tension rod. That's how I anchor my posts into concrete for gates and for fences. And then I tension it down to the concrete, and your posts are just as stiff as they can be. And that way your posts don't have to be cast into the concrete. They can sit on top with a blue skin here, and they'll never rot. So I use this kind of fastening system for a lot of different applications. So put that in your quiver. So we've got the back side done. Looking pretty good. I went with the weathered wood color of shingles, so it kind of looks like sun-bleached shakes. I wanted the barn to kind of just blend into its surroundings, so I didn't want to go with a super dark color. You can see my little beam ends there sticking out, supporting my eaves. And you can see I've replaced the fascias on the front edge of the barn as well. And that beefs it up a lot. They were just little 1x6. I went to 1x8. Gives it a bit more girth. Girth, that's kind of a dumb word. Substance, presence, that's the word. You can see we're working on the roof here in the front. Just shingling up the valleys and around the dormer here. I'm gonna be knocking down this chimney and throwing it in the bin as well, so. Just got other half of the roof to do, and we're gonna hopefully finish it up today, so. Big day, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna get back to work. Oh, and before you go, check out what just got back from the kiln. Ooh! Got my 2 London plain slabs and a whole bunch of elm slabs. The elm slabs belong to a client that I'm going to be building some tables and furniture, some curved benches. Those pieces there. So I'm going to have to build a big table to put my router sled on so I can flatten all these slabs, but those are going to be some fun projects coming down the road. So before you go, please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed so that you can continue to stay in the loop with the whole process of this renovation. There's plenty more tips, and I'm going to walk you through the whole process so you guys can see it if you've got projects for your own to do. There's going to be a lot of information coming from the Samurai Carpenter to you, so you don't want to miss out on that. Make sure you check out the website. Any tools that you've seen in my videos, they're all available on my Amazon store if you want to check those out, get more specs, buy them. You know, that kind of stuff. It helps me out, helps this channel out, keeps the machine well oiled and running, you know. So appreciate any help you guys give me in that department. Huge thanks to all the views, all the subscribers this year, guys. Broke 100K in less than a year. Thank you so much. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, all the holiday schmas, you know. And we'll see you in the new year. Samurai out.